Oh, can you hear me? I suppose you can. I'm going to start doing these and then trimming them down in the beginning. So, yeah, Ray, the Rebel Rouser. YouTube's notorious. It's good to see you, Ray. How you been? And enlighten Jess. It's great to see you in the live chat. It's great to see you. And Dee and Joe. And others that may join, they might decide they want to click on it. They want to join. There's going to be plenty of President Trump tonight. Okay. I'm just saying he had a big night. That's all I'm going to say. It's a big night. Okay. It's a big night. Oh, yes. You are doing well. That's so good to hear, Jess. That really is. You are a breath of fresh air. Just saying, because you're always so great. So it's nice to see you in the chat. And I think everyone would agree. Same with you, Ray. It's nice to see you. Hope your lives are balanced, harmonizing. Life is good. Man, that's what I'm hoping. Oh, what a night. Late September back in 2020 was a special night for me. I remembered Trump was my president. Yes, that's true. One of the many things that Biden said tonight said, I wasn't a great president, but that's just not true. In fact, that's wrong. Wrong. It's wrong. You have to do the wrong. When it's not right, it's wrong. Okay? Wrong. What's up, Mr. Robert Nazawa? Aloha to you, my friend. It's so nice to see you. Robert, I need some more of that coffee. And I need to send you something that you want from Michigan. So all we really have are like apples and good times. So I don't know what you want me to send you, but I got to rebarter you and get you something. Well, hello, Mel, marvelous Mel Monty, the marvelous Mel Monty, marvelous Mel. It's good to see you. I missed you on your last live stream. I'm sorry for that, but that was nice to see that you went live. Yes. So, anything happened today? You guys, anything on TV? I came home. Shawnee said, yo, maybe we'll watch some Netflix tonight and chill. And I was like, what? And she baited me, actually. She did kind of hint at it. Like, like, hey, you want to watch that? She knew the debate was tonight, and she knew, and she goes, so is this like your Super Bowl, or how are you doing? And I'm just like, man, at this point, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't even know what's gonna happen. Like, so he shows up. Yeah, it was a special night. It was a special night. I thought it was I thought Trump was Trump, which means he's real. And he really, really is who he is. Oh, you did not. Oh, you left. That's how I bit early on that. I'm sorry. You left work early to watch POTUS. I would do the same, my friend. Yes, I would do that also. Totally. My mouth shot off. Hey, hey. So, how are all my beautiful, wonderful Patriot family friends? I hope you guys are doing well. And I hope that most of you got to watch the debate as he left work early to watch the debate. But he knows the guy running the shop, so it's okay. I'm sure he didn't get in too much trouble. It's for a good cause. That's what I would say. Hmm. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, you guys. So, who do we got here? We got some people in here. That's a good size. That's a good chat. I can start getting into it tonight. Yeah, nice. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. So, like I said, I instantly come home and I'm getting into my night, my routine. I'm doing my thing, and Shawnee lays on the. So it's like your Super Bowl. I'm like, what? Yeah. So yada yada yada. We start gearing up. It was funny. It was funny because normally she's not like all in with her chips to like watch something like this. And she's like starting to put herself in the living room in a position where I know that, like, oh, she's thinking about watching TV. We're fixing to put the television on. And she built up to it. So I know she secretly loves Trump. She won't tell me. I don't know why. I've offered many. Never mind. Uh, that was almost horrific. Um, in all good taste and good fun, mind you. But we put the debate on, and as expected. So if you don't know a lot about, I guess if you're watching this, you probably know. But if you don't, Fox News hosted the debate tonight, and it was the The moderator was Chris Wallace, who is an effective interviewer and an effective journalist, I guess. But with anybody that knows anything about him, a very, very clear and rich biased against the president of the United States. I wouldn't say he's all in, maybe against the president, but he's not working on the best behalf of the president. So he was the moderator. And from the time this thing started, I mean, we had about 3 civil moments, maybe, at the start of this. It was I don't know how you guys viewed it when I was sitting there watching it, like opening remarks and stuff, and he's like, the first question is you, President Trump. Obviously, they used COVID to say that that's the reason they weren't shaking hands. I mean, but they felt the need to express that to everybody, to know that this was probably, other than that, going to be a really, really good debate where they got along and agreed on most things. But they were wrong. They were wrong. Wrong. Not right. Wrong. I'll go more into that in a second. Great Informer. What's going on? Great Informer says Trump mopped the floor with Biden. That's actually true. That's true. Not wrong. True. He did. I will say Biden performed better than I thought he was gonna. I really didn't. I thought I was gonna see considerably worse out of him tonight. And maybe that was by design. That all could be by design to sell him, I don't know. You over deliver, kind of undersize him. Don't think he's really even bringing a fully cooked brain into the debate. And he surprises you and he stumbles on a couple things, but I think he did well enough to either A, consider maybe he is on something that helps his brain, maybe, which I don't care if he is. I think people in that kind of life situation should be able to take those kind of life-saving drugs, just not run the country. That they should totally have those drugs, but you can't have the nuclear. That would be considered ill-advised. And I don't have a college degree. And I'm right. That'd be ill-advised. Make those drugs available. This man is not fit to run the country, nor is his predecessor, Kamala Harris, not at all equipped to do anything. And most people still have the taste in their mouth of Kamala. That's what it is. Kamala, not Kamala. Kamala Harris. They have the taste in their mouth from when she verbally assassinated Judge Justice Kavanaugh. Proved herself to be the piece of work that she was, a deep state turd. I mean, it's amazing that Biden picked her, right? It's amazing. As Trump eloquently waxes stoically, she destroyed him in the debates. She raised almost every useful, disparaging remark she could have against him in the debates. And then he picked her. And then they started doing all that weird buffoonery that, like, not talking to reporters. That's weird buffoonery. Hi. Our campaign is so lit, we're not going to talk to anybody. And then when we do, we're going to flub and we're going to say the Harris-Biden campaign. I mean, hey, Trey Rebel Farms, it's good to see you. Nice to see you. All are doing well? Yes. All is well, my friend. Thank you for popping in. It's great to see you. Hey, it turns out there must be advantages to going on earlier. More people are awake. That's good. We talk about the debate a little bit. Get that going. So that was the first 3 minutes of the debate was all that shit, where it was just all this weirdness. It really wasn't the first 3 minutes, but it was just kind of actually, I got that backwards. The first 3 minutes were probably the most tranquil moments of the debate, the first 3 minutes. And then after that, it was really strange. Throughout the course of the answers, Trump, and to his credit, Biden, would start interjecting and stuff. But it happened enough where they were both kind of doing it. And yeah, Trump was kind of I'm a bully. I'm going to call out bullshit when I see bullshit. And there was all kinds of that in his speech. And he started to call him out because they knew that they were trying to market this Joe Biden as this feeble old man that Trump, big nasty Trump, was going to come beat the piss out of mentally, which he did, but he did it with the softer side of Sears. he gave him the velvet hammer. I mean, Joe Biden even had the audacity to reference the art of war with Trump. And then also on that note, he had the audacity to reference him with the word intelligent or smart. It was there were several laugh out loud moments throughout this debate. There were moments where I just had to I was talking with Shawnee and we're like watching this and I go, can you just for a second listen to what's coming out of Biden right now and know that he is 100% flat out lying to your face. No problem. No problem. Democrat talking point, no problem. Flat out lying. Flat out denying things that have been shown to be proven within his vice presidency. Things that have just absolutely, he had no word for. He had no nothing. And you know what? I thought, honestly, as much of a bloodbath as this was, as far as debates, I thought Trump actually handled himself pretty well. Early in the debate, you'll find this interesting. Shawnee said, she goes, man, listen to him. She goes, that's why people don't like him, because he's kind of a bully. And I said, Sean, I said, he's got to be. He has to be a bully. These people are in full display. What they have done, these things have to be in front. And that's why he has to keep pulling it out and keeping it that way in front of the people. He has to point it out. He can't let shit go away and let it be brushed under the carpet and let them continue to build the narrative in the mainstream television the moment he lets a situation die. He's not going to let that. It's a scab and it's harassing. He's going to get it. He's going to get it. And you saw that in the debate tonight. There were numerous times, well, at least two. That's numerous times where one time especially where he just hammered Biden on the 3.5 million from the Russian oligarch's wife, or no, it was the Moscow mayor, and it was his wife that gave 3.5 million, and he hammered it because Joe just was like, this guy's got no couth, man. This guy's got no couth. Using old people words like couth. Words like John McCain used, like what was that? What was that really, really old person word he used? I'll think of it, or you will. One of us. What did he say? It wasn't Joe's dumb word malarkey. It was something else. But I mean, it came from the era where your granddad's pappy would have taken you behind the woodshed and, you know, forced you to tear a switch off before he got you. I forget what it is. But it's none of that. Oh, I know what it is. It's poppycock. Poppycock. That's just poppycock. That might not be the word. I think it is. That's an old ass word though. So that should be retired for sure. Retired. Poppycock. That's all just poppycock. With your big sunken jowls. That's all poppycock. That's not the word, but that word is old. And yeah, it is. Yes. Well, I will think of it. Don't you worry. As we continue on in the debate between Donald Trump and the corpse formerly known as Joe Biden, the laughing skeleton. That's Joe Biden all night. Trump's just pounding him with haymakers. Truth bomb. Boom. Truth bomb. Boom. Joe Biden. Smiling, laughing. I told my wife, I said, Joe Biden has a $10,000 smile and a 10-cent fart for a brain. A laughing clown. He's a laughing clown. He is a puppet with a deep state hand well entrenched. Donald Trump. It's true. That's 100% true. I saw the hand up Joe Biden's rectum. I saw it. I didn't want to tell anybody, but it made him do things like this. He did. Joe Biden is a puppet. He was a puppet, man. He did not look great. He did not sound well. And furthermore, again, he did not look great. I don't know what they're going to do. I heard answers that were panic. And not so much the answers out of Biden. I heard shit out of Chris Wallace that I was like, holy cow, man. Trump, like, there was people talking about, there was jokes or like, yeah, he's debating two people again. I mean, he said that in the last debate. He's like, oh, that's great. That's 3-on-1. This is really fair. It's really fair. I mean, tell me Chris Wallace didn't do everything in his absolute ability to be in the corner for Biden in this debate tonight. And I'll also say that President Trump took it really easy on him. He did. Man, he let Vicious come out a couple times, and he needed to. But when that's the thing that people have to remember. When you look at this and you hear this and you hear what's coming out of President Trump's mouth, and you go, oh, fuck, that's cringy. And stuff like that. Well, I'm sorry. That's the truth. And if the truth makes you cringe because they're calling out people that to your face, and the happy face Joker ain't working no more, I'm sorry if it's cringy. Call out truth. Call it out. The president did it right in front of your face. That laughing man, Joe Biden, did nothing. Absolutely nothing. I must be being pretty loud with my laughing skeleton. I don't know if you guys have like caught it. My wife, she sent me a text. She goes, you need to settle down up there. She ain't wrong. You guys want to see me with a picture of just my mustache? I did it right before I cut everything off. That's right before I cut my beard off. I cut everything off, and then I just had this mustache. And I'm like, I got to take my picture. Cling. That'll be immortalized forever and ever and ever again. Before whatever. Joe Biden has a bone to pick with the skeleton. Indeed. Indeed. I've missed you guys. It's so good to see you. Oh, you know, it's almost like we're watching a movie where the drinks are being refreshed and the popcorn is being fixed in the other room. It's almost like you're watching a movie, and it has consequences for sure. Movies, well, I suppose if they're written into the script, movies have consequences, but this is a little different than maybe just a movie. It's fluid. It's moving, it's changing, it's fluid. It's part of your life. And most of it is yeah, for the most part, been scripted to what we're seeing. I mean, only as far as the plan. I'm not talking about all the other shit in your life that you do, like being a parent and all that. No. That stuff's all well off the rails for all of us. But this little section here that we're witnessing, which is us being given back our freedom, really, in our government and the power of the people and the voice of the people, is truly this section in our life. Now we got all of this with our relationship with God and the other compartments of our life that are over here. You know, some parked up there, one right in top of the mirror, one up there. Wow, this is how weathermen must feel. I put one right there, and well, I'll put it here. Maybe. Okay, this is not fun. I'll put one there, and one here, and one there, and I'll put all these compartments. But God can encompass all of that, you know. And hey, there's no problem in believing in God. Believe me. If you think there's a problem in believing in God and that's like your biggest worry and issue in life, it's not. It's not. Because you have to look at the reckless, heinous shit that the evil of this world, and for the demonstrations of this, or for the purposes of this demonstration, I'll call them Democrats, because a lot of them are wearing that mask, worship something that they believe is a dark, dark energy, a dark power. Moloch, Satan, Lucifer, whatever kind of name you want to like give to it. There's people that worship it and do much worse than that in the name of it. Well, those things are what's being highlighted and brought to life. That's what people are starting to understand, is that these are the things that are the crimes against humanity. These are the things that are really going to truly pop and wake up everybody. It will cross all lines. Why? Probably because I believe it's going to be involving children. And not on the scale, you know, guys, we've been winning, right? Winning. I'm not tired of winning. I'm still winning. Winning's fun. I love winning. We're still winning. Winning. I love it. It's fun. It is. But true winning is going to be having some epic shit be dropped. And it's going to, I don't know what the word is. It's going to be such a massive disclosure on people of what's really been happening that the people that are awake are going to go, yeah, it's what I've been talking about. And the people that are not awake are just going to be in stages of awakening that we were all in at one point in time. I mean, we've all obviously awakened to where this is, right? Right? Nobody's brainwashed. Am I correct? For instance, if something came out on the drops that told you to go out and take care of somebody in a position of authority, no questions asked, and we don't care who, go do it. Do you think anybody that follows this movement would like look at that and say any? It's a dumb thing to put out there, but it's not anything anybody would ever do, because that has nothing to do with the direction of where that's going, of where that movement is going. It's about peace. It's always been about peace. It's about exposing the hypocrisy, to quote Chris Rock, in our democracy. It's about to expose the hypocrisy of our democracy, which on its face, it does. It sounds hip hop. It sounds cool. But man, that is bold. There is hypocrisy in our democracy, which means it infringes on everything that you do in life. Unless you are in the elites, part of the elite class. Part of the people that will play ball with the elites. The people that will play ball with the elites are on full display right now. Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Adam Schiff, Maxine Waters. Who else? Who else? Cohen, Amy Klobuchar, Liz frickin' Pocahontas. I don't even remember her name anymore. Liz Warren, Elizabeth Warren. And all of the fangirls that have been funded by the Soros campaign. AOC +3. And now there's all kinds of stuff coming out. Did you guys hear tonight? I haven't even hit some of this stuff because I don't have any notes. So big surprise there. But in the debate tonight, I mean, didn't Trump really, really, really call out Biden hard on some things at the end? I mean, he beat his ass. He crushed him hard. Would you say I started to mention you being hairless? Well, I still got eyebrows, girl. And those are eye mustaches. And I think my eye mustaches are on point. Maybe not. Yeah, Whitmer. She needs to be recalled. She's not going to be available to be voted out until 2024. So we have to get her out much quicker. The good news is that there's enough ballots that have been signed, and now they are just verifying the signatures on the ballots or on the petitions that are going to push forward to the next step. So we'll see. We'll see. Newsom needs to go too. Governor Inslee, for sure. For sure. And the silent elephant in the room, Governor Cuomo. I don't know if Trump can win New York. I think he should. I think he'd be able to. If you take out of New York City and you just kind of go up into outside of that by 20, 30, 40 miles, and you look at all of New York, it's like where most of us live. It's all woods and trees and normal ass people. I mean, same with California, and Robert Wallace can attest to this, is that where he lives, he's from California, but man, he ain't LA. That's not what he's about. He's not about San Francisco and what that's about. And like him and everybody else that's normal, they're not about that. They're about, values, things that are instilled in you. These are the things that are hopefully going to rapidly be coming back into the United States. Hopefully. Guys, I was thinking about what they were talking about with the mail-in voting earlier tonight. I was thinking about that. And they really let Biden hammer home that, talking about 6, 7, 8 days after, those should be counted and that kind of stuff. And they were bringing up with Trump, will you, hand over a peaceful transition of power? And he said, if it's a fair election, I will. If it's not, then he won't. And I think he may have been sending us a message. Time will soon tell. But, I mean, we've been shown that they're going to do the mail-in voting, at least in some places. Now, there's many, many court cases that are within the lower courts that are being judged on. But there's still going to be many pockets and areas where it's just they're going to allow it. That is why, and most of you know this, why the Supreme Court pick for Amy Coney Barrett is instrumental in the plan. Now, if you're part of the plan and you understand the plan, then you understand that it sounds like the Patriots have had a pretty good bead on when RBG would be exiting the party. That it's been at their discretion. And that they have played this card at the very perfect time to play this card. Now, don't send me down a rabbit hole and say anything about RBG. What I'm saying is that she's out of the picture, in my opinion, at a very opportune time. And I think many, many, many months ago that little things have been left to chance and circumstance. Not many things have been left to that. And on the scale of what this movement is and what it means to replace RBG at this critical time in the scope of everything, I would tell you there is a 0% chance that this was not orchestrated in whatever fashion it happened. We're watching a movie. It's fluid. It moves. We're watching a movie. Many truths beyond comprehension to outweigh any other scenario of what's going on. How it goes forward, do we know? Yeah, we pretty much kind of know, guys. We just don't know exactly how it's going to go, but we know it all ends with all of the bullshit that Trump's overtaking crumbling to the ground and being done, to be over. That's where this ultimately goes. How will we get there? I don't know, man. There's lots of battles, but things are all moving. I mean, there's no desperation in the Trump campaign about anything at all. All he does is comes out and defends himself with truth all the time. And that's what he did in the debate tonight. Again, I'll go back to the point. My wife said, that's why people don't like him, because he's this, that. I said, babe, he has to be that way. Because if he is not his own cheerleader, pointing out the things that are bullshit and the things that are true and all that, nobody else is going to do it for him. And not on a national level. They're not going to do it for him. Not at all. What's going on with you guys? All right. That was, I guess, was there more to the debate? Yeah, there was. It was pretty good debate, actually. I mean, as far as being a Trump fan, I enjoyed it a lot. I laughed out loud a few times and not forced. It was funny. It was legit funny. It was good. Chris Wallace was that far from letting the wheels fly off that debate, though. I can tell you that. that thing was in a gimbal spin, man. There were problems. There were problems in that capsule. Problems. Joe Biden was denied his trick of a treat to smell children's feet. Gretchen Whitmer is a succubus. Andrew Cuomo is an incubus. We all know it's not going to be a fair election, says Great Informer. I think you're probably correct. I think there would be there would be some sweet justice if they let it go through all the election and the Electoral College and everything says that Trump won it and all that. And they just go, we're simply putting an end to your ballot counting. It's over. It wouldn't be the first time that happened. That's what happened when George Sr. put the end of the ballot counting with Gore against George Jr. in Florida. Just saying. I mean, wouldn't be the first time. That's why it's important. Amy Coney Barrett is in there. There's a reason you have 9 justices, not 8. 9. And to be honest, there wasn't a whole lot of pushback or anything on the fact that Trump was allowed to name this justice, especially when he went into the bag and said, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, like a year and a half ago, said, you know, or maybe it was back to when Obama was putting up Merrick Garland, is that basically the Trump's president, or, you know, a president's tutelage is 4 years. And in those 4 years, you make the decisions that a president gets. So take away all your bullshit and your whining, and that's over. You're not doing it. D says, I thought Wallace, as in Chris Wallace, although Robert Wallace might have been going crazy in his room watching it, thought Wallace was going to lose it with Trump a few times. Yeah. It's okay, though. I felt it too, D. But you know what I know more than anything about that president is that he understands the people that are in front of him. And he knows how to handle Chris Wallace. Even though he's a deep state turd, he knows how to handle him. But yeah, I saw it too. Wallace, I kept looking at him every time they panned him. I wanted to see if he was like sweating more. To his credit, I really didn't notice anything. But through all the dialogue between these two and all of him interjecting, I thought, man, this guy's just going to look like he's been in a rain shower when they show him. But again, to his credit, listen, man, the debate was way better than I thought it'd be. It really was. I did. But there was a moment when it got about 35 minutes into the debate after they'd started, and I looked at Shawnee and I said, they have another 55 minutes of this to go, because the gloves were already off, man. It was so cool. It was so fun. It was really actually fun to watch. And even though I disagree with everything about Joe Biden and everything he represents, and even though he lied to our faces and continues to lie to our faces, I was happy to see him not be a yammering meat suit. And that, I would say, Joe showed up for the first debate. And that's about it. But he was there, and he didn't humiliate himself, which is really what I thought was going to happen. But he didn't. He kind of managed to keep it together, you know. But you got all these little bombs because you heard about Trump. He's like, I want us to both take drug tests. I mean, these are all little shots to him. Like, dude, you better not be taking like anything. You better not be shooting anything, you know? Or even if you're not, if you perform well in this debate, I'm putting the stain over you that could be what it is. And I don't think Biden did anything to change anybody's mind tonight. I don't think he changed anybody's mind for anything. I don't think that he forced Democrats that are going to vote for him to go vote for Trump. I don't think he did anything to change their minds. The same with Trump. President Trump, I don't think really did anything to change the people's minds of how they're going to vote. And I think this is really going to just come down to, like I said, the whole voting thing, the voting thing. It's going to come down to that. And we, as the awoke, truly awoke members of our country, that's really what we are. You can call yourself a patriot. We are. But you know what? There's plenty of Democrats that are patriots. They're just not burning down cities, and they're going to 9-to-5 jobs, and they're running corporations. There's plenty of them that are, you know, we're woke, but these people are not going to risk their livelihoods. And if it looks like bullshit on election day, and that, let's just say Trump has this overwhelming win on election day, of which Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, none of them are going to allow anybody to claim like a victory, so that they can allow time for the mail-in voting to come. I do not think anybody has the stomach, and I don't think there's a big enough antacid to comb anybody's problems if this tries to get drug out into some kind of bullshit. And I think that's where the silent majority is really, really going to be heard, is the minute that this thing starts getting off the rails after the election and the people have spoke, I think it'll be shut down. And if it's not shut down, well, then I simply think that that's when the indictments start to roll, because the overwhelming majority of people are awake. They're awake. You know, it's in Michigan, it sucks. You know, our governor is a fucking Nazi. The whole mask mandate. This is bullshit, man. Our whole state should be open. An entire summer of tourism was lost in the state of Michigan. And I'm not playing a violin. It's happened everywhere. I get it. But our governor is a hypocrite. She's the one that tried to put her boat in during COVID. Her husband name dropped her to the boatmaster. I get some special privilege. I'm the governor's husband to get their boat in while everybody else was getting a big fuck you. So, no, I don't think that the reasonable left will put up with this much longer. I don't know how they could. And once that goes away, what are you left with? You're left with a bunch of people that dress in black and carry backpacks and take over city blocks and assault people and smash windows and burn down businesses. That's what you're left with. And if you think about that, the only thing that's like even giving any amount of validity to the fact that they're doing this are the very enemies that are in front of you, which is your mainstream television. They're the ones that are fueling this. I mean, we really are, as a society. I mean, the dumb people that aren't awake are the ones that are continuing to fuel this. All we can do, guys, is continue to push the truth. And I've had to have discussions like a few times, guys, in the last few weeks with people that truly do have Trump derangement syndrome, like legit. I don't have any words to help people like that. I don't. Because genuinely, these are people that are smart and will do research in their box, and that's it. The one thing you can do to debunk anybody that has any shit to say about what's going on right now, as far as the movement's concerned, is that your number one argument in any of this, right out of the gate, is that the person you're talking to has been lied to their entire life. Lied to. If you can't get past that point with somebody, go debate the wall. Go stand at the wall and debate the wall. You can't. Not people that are, no, fortunately, there's a lot of people that can go, well, yeah, I kind of assume that the media lies to us a little bit, or they have over the years. And it's like, dude, you're not even close. It's not that they've lied to us a little bit. They have lied to us on an epic, horrific scale, lied to us. Not, oh, we'll do this so that it doesn't cause civil unrest. I'm talking about epic level shit. Things that got us into World War II. Things that got us into the Vietnam War. Things that got us into the Korean War. Weapons of mass destruction. Just saying. Just pointing that out. What do you guys say? Are you talking about Biden there, Trey? Yeah, he kept it together, but he tiptoed around questions. Yeah, maybe. I mean, yeah, that definitely wasn't Trump. He didn't. He didn't tiptoe through the tulips. He moshed all the way through the tulips. So there's thoughts. What's going to go on with Biden? Did he do a good enough showing where people would accept him to come out for another debate? Perhaps. Yeah, perhaps he did. But do they know once they actually accept the numbers, not what they're going to report to everybody tomorrow? They're going to come out with these numbers and their polls, and it's all bullshit, just like it was in 2016. It's all bullshit. Will the Democrats inwardly say, you know what, we got a problem. There's no way Biden can win. Yes, he did a fine job. He did admirable to go up there and debate him. And Trump took it easy on him. He really did. But a couple times he didn't so much. And he went Trump on him. And that was okay. He had to remind Joe who he was. Trump, that is, had to remind Joe who Trump was. But guys, this is for all the marbles. Is it Joe Biden they're going to put up there? Think about it. It's for all the marbles. If they win the election, it continues their way of life and the way things were going, albeit against a much more awoke public that eventually, over time and attrition, will let things go exactly to where they were before. It took a visionary to bring this country out of that. But if you don't have a visionary to take you across the finish line, then you're going to go back to the way things were. You guys believe this for a second. If Joe Biden were to win, he's not going to change shit like overnight and we're going back. They don't care about that. All they care about is getting that position. If they have to gently reel us all back in over the course of 15 or 20 years, or just to get into the next group of people that they can manipulate, they have the mainstream television. They would do it in a second and they would have no problem. The same reason they had no problem in the 1960s when people were pissed over the Vietnam War. The people had the voice, they were loud, they were legit, and they let time take care of those issues and continued to be the voice of the movement. They had the voice. The same thing would happen if Biden were to win, no matter how big a patriot you are. Because what's the alternative? What are you going to do? You got the means to pack up, move out of the country, go live somewhere and make a living? Go ahead. Truth is that nobody does. You got one choice for your future, and it's Donald Trump. And he cares. He cares about destroying what the deep state has done to you. He's going to deliver back to the United States. And I say that while in my mind, I'm including the world. You guys, it's a global movement. It's global. There's not, you can't even debate it. It's global. Everybody in the world has the faith in him. And, you know, there might be a golden era coming for the world. You know, is it so bad that we could live here on earth and we could achieve true peace and tranquility, and we could honestly, I don't know, have a peaceful, beautiful life, you know, where anger falls off you like dirt in a shower. I mean, it just rinses off you and just comes off your body. And all of that heavy, heavy stuff that comes at you in life is released off of you. And it's not just you, it's everybody in the world, because there's no reason to purposely just keep everybody down. People that are rich assholes are the people that want to do that stuff. The reason we're all slaves, and I know that that's subjective, but the reason that technically we're all slaves are because enough super uber filthy rich pricks felt like it had to run this way or they would release some of their power. And I don't know what the exact number is, but it's something ridiculous. That's why like 10 families control 50% of the wealth of the world. And I'm pretty sure that's not how it's supposed to be. Or if it is, well, then we know and we can switch it. We can change it. And I think we have. I think we have. I think we're seeing panic in the uber elite rich. We're seeing it. The voice of Hollywood is like a fart in the wind. It's over. In the words of Herb Brooks, Hollywood's time, their time is over. Their time is done. Hollywood's time is done. The biggest voices in Hollywood right now support Trump. And they don't have a loud voice. But we know who they are, or at least they're starting to emerge. No, you guys, there's a shift. And maybe for a bunch of really level-headed people in life that kind of take the good with the bad, and you're in using the word fluid, you're kind of fluid in your circumstances yourself, and you're just able to kind of roll with it, and you move on and you move on and you keep a good outlook on it and all that. Maybe what this shift is won't be as monumental to you because you've always managed to put a good face on a shitty situation. But there's many, many more people that aren't like that. I mean, they're twisted, man. They're twisted by emotions. They're twisted in the wind. So maybe if just everything gets better as a result of people not taking advantage of each other, so everything, high tide raises all ships. So maybe as a result of everybody just being great with everybody and people able to make a living and not kill themselves working to simply eat or survive or live or raise a family. I mean, these are things that could dramatically catapult the human race into maybe what our destiny is, which has got to be a hell of a lot more than what we're seeing now. It has to be. Look at all the things that humanity's done in the centuries. Just look in the last 5 centuries, 6 centuries, 20 centuries. Think about what we know today versus what we knew 100 years ago. I mean, I think these things will excel, don't you? Don't you think it was in their best interest to slowly give us technology as they seemed we were fit to achieve it so that they could keep the maximum control over everybody all the time through everything you do in life, everything you do, drive, eat, work, sleep, heat your home, cool your home, heat your car, cool your car, all of it. They took a bit off of every bit of it, and they didn't care. They didn't care. And it didn't really feel like robbing you. It didn't really feel like it because it's a tax. Well, screw you, man. That's like bullshit. You're taking away my livelihood. You're taking away everybody's livelihood. It got to the point where people started worshiping politicians. Now, Trump's not a politician, and he's worthy of being put up there to like the guy that's going to actually maybe help restore humanity. But politicians work for you. They work for us. Something I had forgotten years ago. But they do work for us. It actually took Joe Biden being in a General Motors plant. It was about 9 months ago, 10 months ago, whatever. And one of the guys in the plant started calling him out and said, well, you work for me. And he said, I don't work for you, Jack. I don't work for you, man. I don't work for you, Jack. I work, I this and that. But that told me that right there, that even though we know it, that is the attitude of, that's just the attitude of, I don't know, people that have been brainwashed into being something that they're not supposed to be. Not when you're of, by, and for the people. Not when you're that. You're supposed to work for us, and that's how it's supposed to go. So, anyway, Hey, look at this, 59 minutes and 49 seconds. I'm going to wrap this up at 1 hour because I think I'm running out of stuff to say, but it was an epic, epic debate. And I cannot wait for what's coming in our future. I can't wait for the truth bombs. I think they're going to be huge. And, you know, let's stay in the fight, stay in the truth movement. Keep your eye on the prize, which is getting this man reelected. Do your part. Make sure you vote. Make sure you vote. And encourage those to vote, but make sure you go vote. And we'll talk a few more times before we get to the vote. But once we're through this, I don't know, man. I'm just very optimistic for the future of humanity in general, on every level, in every country. I'm very optimistic for the future. Because if you're not, knowing everything that you know now, if you're not optimistic for the future, what has all this been for? What have we gone through all of this for if it's not for that? And I, my friends, would submit we wouldn't be put through this if it's not exactly what we think it is. So God bless you all. I love you all. Say a prayer for each other. Say a prayer for your president for sure. Pray for a hedge of protection around him and his family. And pray for the world, all of us, everybody. Because that's the way things should be, is that we all ought to be looking out for each other everywhere. And our enemies, we will pray that they come around. Man, I pray the calluses are ripped off their eyes and that they go, holy, what's been going on? Man, I pray for that. I hope those calluses are just shredded off their eyes and they get it. But until they do, they're the enemy. So that's how that works. Anyway, it's great seeing you guys. I do appreciate you coming. And yeah, if I don't, whatever, I might be on next Tuesday night, unless I go before that, but I probably won't, but maybe next Tuesday night. So anyway, keep your eyes open, watch what's going on, pay attention to your surroundings for sure. And I don't know, have a fantastic week. All right. Have a great week.